back. It's January now. I've been on for a few days because I've been playing bowls in a tournament. So I'm in a bowls club. So I've been playing bowls, and fortunately I've got through each round. So if you win one day, you move on to the next round and play the next day, and then the next day, and so on. So I've had like a few days where I've gone out in the morning, I had to get up early, which I hate doing, I had to get up early, go out, play bowls, and that's kind of taken up most of my day. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, retired in Spain. Why retired in Spain? Well, retirement's a huge thing. It's like one of those life-changing events. You know, like originally when you're born, you know, and you live at home, and then you have to go to school. That's a big life-changing event. Then you leave school and you go to further education. You know, you move away from home for a bit, life-changing. Then you start work, and all these things in life are huge events, as is retirement, because it's kind of final. You know, you're giving up work, and there's lots of questions. Can I afford to? What will I do with myself, etc., etc. So these are some of the things I just want to try and cover off in these videos, and put my spin on it, really, and the experience that I've had speaking to other people. So I spoke to somebody a while back, and they said to me, "Oh, do you think I'd retire? I'd love to be able to retire." And I said, "Well, would you?" I said, because if work is what defines you, you know, if that's what you live for as such, then it's going to be a big shock. You know, so if your life's unbalanced and everything you do is work, and work is what defines you, then it's going to be a huge challenge to actually give that up and take a bit of planning too. If you're like someone else that I know, a very professional man, right at the top of his profession, and he said to me, "I never enjoyed one day of work ever. He said, in my whole lifetime, my whole career, he said, I've never enjoyed one day of work. He said, I've only ever done it for the money, as simple as that, so that he could live." So his take on life was a bit different. So if you're one of those people who goes to work, you got one of those nicknames. I made a few notes here about nicknames for people at work, like Kit Kat, you know, always on a break, or the G-spot, never find them. You know, E.T. always wants to go home. If you're one of those kind of people who doesn't take work too seriously, and you're there for the money, and you've got other things in your life, good balance in your life, then retirement or approaching retirement is a different thing altogether. But if your life is unbalanced and most of what you've got is work and very little of anything else, then when you lose work, the balance shifts and it just collapses around you. Whereas if you've got a balanced life where you've got a social life, a love life, finances are okay, you know, all these different aspects to your life, if they're balanced and you take one away, it's not such a big adjustment to make. You know, but if everything you've got is work and you take that away, the whole thing just collapses, it falls over, and then people wonder what they're going to do with themselves. So in terms of giving up work, it's something that you can obviously plan for financially. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you know, I need enough money to retire." And actually, you know, how much is enough? How much is enough? And we can look at that. But in terms of what you need when you pack up work, it does drop off. I mean, it definitely drops off. You don't need anywhere near as much money. To occupy your time, again, you know, there are lots of things you can do. Like I just mentioned, I've been out the last few days playing bowls. So having sports or things that you can do, not things that you might like to do, you know, because I've heard lots of people say, "Oh, when I give up work, I'm going to do this, that and the other," and then they don't enjoy them. You know, so all those jobs around the house probably take a year, and then after that, you know, you're stuffed and have no idea what to do. So yeah, basically, it's a case of knowing when to give up and is it right for you. So number one is to have that balanced life, because if you haven't got a balanced lifestyle, then when you take work away, it comes crashing down. Like if you look at, I mean, this might be a bad example, but if you look at Prince Andrew, everything he had was all about his position, his title, etc., the respect he got as a result of those titles, etc. And at the moment you take them all away, which has now happened, it's really affecting him big time, isn't it? You know, big time. And it's the same with people that have been in the army, for example, in the military. You know, they have a rank, but it's the rank that has respect, not the person. So if you're a captain or whatever in the army, you've obviously received lots of respect off of the men because of your rank. It's not because of you. You're not necessarily a great bloke or anything. People have only respected your rank. So when you take that rank away, when people leave the army and they're out in the big wide world, they're just an ex, you know, an ex-captain or an ex-prince or an ex-managing director or an ex-financial officer, whatever it is, once you've left work. So if work is what defines you, if you love all that, if you love being respected for what you do, if you love to talk about it, etc., and you don't have much else in your life, then actually giving up is going to be a huge thing for you guys. If on the other hand you're a Kit Kat, you know, always on a break, or an ET, always can't wait to get home, then it might be a little bit different for you. So that's what I want to talk about as we go forward, really. What type of you, how can you plan for it, etc. So I'm going to knock it on the head for today, literally because I don't want to get boring. You know, I could talk about this for hours, but I don't want to get boring about it. So it's basically one of those things. If you like what you hear and you want to continue and join in the conversation, then please, you know, like and follow or whatever you have to do. If it's not for you and it's boring, then look at some of my other videos to do with Spain. But yeah, it's a big thing, retirement. And as I say, there's a lot to it, lots of aspects to it, and it's life changing. So let's get into it. Let's look at all the aspects of it over a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and look at what questions people might have, because although I think I've thought of most things, and I mix with a lot of people who are retired, I'm sure there's going to be new things, new questions, and if I don't know the answer, I've got a lot of people in our community who are retired, who are ex-military, are ex-health service, etc., who might well know the answers. So let's have a look at it, and I'll catch up with you in my next video. And what we'll do is we'll talk about maybe the financial aspect of retirement. So I'll catch up with you tomorrow. All right, bye for now. Bye.